boomer. I think I'm a zoomer. I think I'm a doomer. Damn, I'm like a zoomer. Okay. EGGWHITE coming with the heat. I stay fooling with my bot, my tunes will make your speakers hot.
Welcome to the Grillcast, the only podcast in the world dedicated to radical centrism. Today is a very special crossover episode with the hosts.
Micah, I didn't give you permission to do the intro, you fucking bitch. I hate you.
This
Sorry,
is
that
a very
was my
special
impression,
crossover episode with our friends from the podcast Jutrune, which you can find on Rumble, hosted by a prolific author, a world-renowned author. You may remember him from our episode on the Incel Encyclopedia, a highly regarded book that is now available at Amazon and other brick-and-mortar retailers such as the Barnes & Noble and Walmart and other places. Joining us also is his co-host, Blue Hooded, aptly named. And last but not least, I would like to introduce and give a hearty Grillcast welcome to Nathan Bonnell. How are you doing, sir?
I'm doing good, thank you.
Okay, well, just to get things started, and we can get commentary from everybody else after you, tell us, your answer. It's been reported to me by various sources I'm very intimate with, not in a gay way, but that
in a gay way,
not in a gay way,
in a
that
very
you
gay,
have
homosexual sort of way.
that you've become sort of a Groyper adjacent individual online. So I just want to ask. This is probably one that you've already gotten before, but I am personally curious because I'm not super online. Can you talk a little bit about how you got involved, if at all, in that, and what are your duties and responsibilities as a general of that group?
Yeah, it kind of randomly happened. I started letting those types of people on my Discord server after various arguments with other moderators. I finally got them allowed to join the server, and I watched some of their debates. I listened to some of their debates, and I started kind of thinking the same way as them. Almost, I've done research suggested to me by them, such as like articles. So it kind of randomly happened. I didn't ever expect it.
So you sort of baptized yourself in the well of facts and logic, and have fallen on that end of the fence.
I'd like to jump in with a follow-up question to that. So Nathan, have you super chatted? You don't have to dox your super chatting name, but have you super chatted Nick?
No, not yet.
Do you plan to?
Maybe someday.
Yeah, you should give him your lunch money.
I don't personally condone giving your money to e-celebrities, unless of course it is myself and Orion.
It's an unstoppable, inevitable movement.
Yes, that too.
I would condone it. I would highly encourage.
Because in that case, you're losing the opportunity to be on the winning team. And speaking of being on the winning team, something I find interesting about you, Nathan, is that you're kind of the polar opposite of most, nepo baby prodigal children, in the sense that you are actually superior to the parent. Could you comment a little bit about that and how you ended up in that circumstance?
Yeah. I've heard that before. I wouldn't say I'm superior to my father, but I definitely say that I'm more easy to talk to than my father, because I think I have
more sober too, a little bit less methed up.
Yeah.
When you're talking.
Yeah. I'm open to talking to anyone. Really, I wouldn't say he is. I'd say he's kind of in his own space sometimes. And I also kind of believe about the opposite of what he believes in.
Yeah. Wait, quick question. So, with these sort of YouTuber lawsuits recently, I don't know if you're aware about your father's legal trouble.
I am.
So, like, there's a bit of what was I going to ask? That So I guess just as, an interviewer, as a journalist, right? Has your father incriminated himself privately in this case? You
Why
obviously
would
don't have
you?
to share,
If
but,
he,
but
if
the
he
Wow.
did,
audience
why would
does
he
want to
fucking
know.
answer that? What an insane
Of course
This
question.
he's
is
not
a
going to answer.
this is an improper question. I'm gonna have to step in.
Come on. It was a
I'm
funny
gonna
question to
I'm
ask. It
gonna
was a
just
funny question to ask.
That was good. That was a good bit.
No, he hasn't.
No.
He hasn't really talked about it.
Okay.
As he
Okay.
shouldn't, as he most definitely should
Maybe he
not.
mentioned it on the Holocaust trip. He was like, "Oh, by the way, I did everything. It's all everything they're saying is true. You have
That's
to
a
take
good,
this information to the grave."
That's a good segue, faggot. Let me ask you, Nathan. Now that he's brought that up, you recently went on a trip, a very special trip,
Yeah.
to one of the United States' 40 Holocaust museums. What was the most
By
convincing
the way, it was
evidence?
number one, just as like some regional pride. It was the number one Holocaust museum, in case you're unaware.
All right, so you got the cream of the crop there, but tell me, what was the most convincing evidence there for you personally?
Well, I'd have to say the shoes, man.
sometimes I wonder, like, I think if black people ever go into those museums, when they see
Are they
the
going to steal those
shoes, do you
shoes?
think that's like extra compelling for them
You know what?
specifically?
I have no clue.
Yeah.
But
That was so nice of him, though, to keep the shoes but burn all the documents proving it happened.
All right, well, we don't need to don't need to get into the
Yeah.
weeds, but this
By
was
the way,
just
this
a
is or was yeah no
Bit of
was I?
satire, bit of political satire to keep everyone on their toes.
Of course, yeah. We do
It
not
doesn't reflect my
endorse
actual beliefs.
those. Yeah, I don't even know why you would say that like
So
as a joke. I don't know if
I
that's really the type of stuff
we
we
can
want on the
we can move
Grillcast.
on. We can move on from that
Okay, yeah.
that field
Let's
of
just let
discussion.
casual
Yeah,
Holocaust
let's keep it light.
slide.
My bad, guys.
So
Just being gay and stuff. My bad.
going
course, yeah.
back to the juxtaposition between you and your dad. I've heard before that you've commented on also wanting to do streaming. So is it true that you plan on being a streamer, or do you think maybe you could strive to do something greater? I'm not sure if there is anything, I'm not sure if that's possible to do anything more important than stream online. But is there anything else in your mind that would be worthwhile to society that you could get into?
yeah, I want to do streaming. Anything else? Not really much. I might want to do like some sort of like political thing. Maybe some
Mhm.
sort of
Ooh,
activism.
I know all about activism
And
Yeah.
activation.
in activation.
It's sort of like you could say Nathaniel was awakened. You could say that he was a sort of sleeper cell that had been awakened to the truth. The great Groiper awakening.
Yeah, does that ever feel like between the two of you, like you and your dad, does that ever feel like a Luke Skywalker Darth Vader situation, or what is what do you feel about that?
It doesn't. It's actually not as It doesn't really affect me and him. I mean, sometimes he'll make a joke about it, like he did that at the Holocaust
Mhm.
Museum. Made a joke about
Wait,
me.
wait, wait. He was
Destiny-
making
wait.
jokes at the Holocaust Museum?
Well, no.
This is
when we
pretty-
went to when
yeah.
we went to the picture exhibit, when we went to the like pictures and stuff, my dad like said something along the lines of, "Here's all the pictures you think are fake" or something like that.
He was
The Nick influence.
Okay,
he
I
lives
see.
in his head. There's
I
a
see.
Groiper in the back of his head yelling at him to wake up.
Did he say that? Did he like say that in front of the class? He was like, "Hey class, my son
Did
Nathaniel
you ask
Bonnell
him?
is like a Holocaust denier, and you should all debate him during history class."
See, if I were in your shoes and he said that to me, I would have asked him for a source, like on the spot.
Get the fact check ready. See, but he has the advantage though, because he can just ask his chat though. So that's why you need to build up your following more, so that your chat is bigger than his. So that way you get your fact check before he gets his. That'll be like the great lightsaber duel between Luke and Anakin, is whose chat has the answer faster.
You know, something funny is that if I debated my dad, I wouldn't need anyone's help because I've researched everything about World War II and World War I and the Middle Eastern conflicts before my dad even opened up his first book on it. I'm actually
But
the
your
one.
dad has Chat GPT.
Oh yeah, true.
And he has the power of lying. He has the power of being a disingenuous debater.
Did you
I don't.
have you or well, go on? Sorry.
Well, I was just gonna say I don't know that he's necessarily disingenuous
You should
all the
watch the
time.
Fresh and Fit debate. It's pretty clear there.
No, I've seen it, and I would attribute that to just like being in denial about unpreparedness or like not knowing something.
Yeah.
Because I've seen
True.
I've seen
Every
some debates
accusation
where
is a confession.
I've seen some debates where I'm like, yeah, I gotta give your dad credit, Nathan. Sometimes he
Yeah, he is definitely a good debater. Like even my
hit the
fucking
mark.
dad. I was telling him about this, and somehow he knew who Destiny was. He was like, "You're talking to his son." I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "Man, that Destiny sure is smart." And I was like, "Well, maybe in some ways."
Yeah.
It's okay. He has AIDS, and like everybody sometimes needs AIDS. Things to help them get through moments in life. It's just
True. I don't know where I'd be without my AIDS. I don't know where I'd be without my crippling AIDS.
Yeah.
So Nathan, do you think the Holocaust happened? You could, and no answer is fine.
Yeah, sure, it happened. I don't believe in the 6 million death statistic, but obviously it happened, and it was for different reasons. A lot of people say Nazis were just pure evil, but I don't really think that.
That's true.
Okay. So what do you plan on doing with that information?
I haven't thought about that yet. I don't know if one day I'm
You
just
figured this shit out. That's a lot of pressure to put. Okay, so what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do about it? Like, let him breathe. Cannot breathe. I can't breathe.
No,
thank you for paying homage to this.
Okay, so maybe not what are you going to do with that, but I am interested. What are your kind of general plans? You seem to just be getting into the online ring of streaming and content creation, and what kind of direction do you want to go with it? I know you said streaming, but there's a lot of different types of streaming, so I'm just interested in what interests you at this point.
I mean, I've always wanted to get people my age interested in politics, so I think that's what I'm gonna try doing, trying to get people
10 years from now, are you going to be going to middle schools and
Can
just
we
like
stop?
saying
It's a guest. You're a guest too. See, it's just
Let the guest speak. Let the guest speak.
funny to say, and the window of opportunity was going to break, dude.
That
That window of opportunity was going to break.
The real
It was
red
gonna
pill
break.
is this episode. This is the real red pill. It's on full display here. Go ahead.
Okay,
Nathan.
that was a funny thing to say though. Like, are we just going to ignore my hilarious comment just now?
No, let's actually suck your dick. How about?
Well, I have a problem with this. Excuse me, sir, but man of nondescript ethnic heritage coming in and shutting down the conversation.
Okay. Yeah, you're right. You're right.
So let Nathan respond, please, and then.
Yeah. I don't know if I'm gonna be going to middle schools at like age 30, and talking to kids about the Holocaust. I don't think that'd probably be a little creepy, but I'd love to talk to like high schoolers, maybe college kids, and try getting them interested in politics. Of course, because I just think it's important for people, younger people, to like get interested in this stuff. It's pretty interesting, and I think everyone should hear the people's opinions and kind of battle it out themselves.
Yeah, you don't have to worry about the middle schoolers. We'll be taking care of that. Me and
Jeez.
we'll be going to the middle schools.
Jeez.
Dude, come on.
This is sort of a non sequitur question, but you're from Nebraska, right?
Yep.
Are there cornfields there, or like a lot of cornfields?
Yeah, kind of where I am. If you drive down like southeast, there will be a few.
Okay, and have you ever been in a cornfield in your youth?
Yeah, but mainly in Iowa because that's where my grandparents are. They have a lot more cornfields there.
But any point in Nebraska were you in a cornfield?
Maybe at like Vallis Pumpkin Patch.
Okay, all right. Then sorry. I know this seems like an odd question, but it's just something that the Gorillas wanted me to ask about.
I've been in cornfields.
Okay, we're not interviewing you, dude. Like,
I'm in Illinois.
Be
and
respectful.
I've been in cornfields.
Be respectful, you fucking homo.
You're just lashing out on me because I was right. Because I was right
True.
earlier. And
True.
You're mad.
You were right. You were in cornfields.
And you know what? I'll take it
I
a step
shouldn't deny
further.
you being in
I love
cornfields.
cornfields.
So Nathan, what
Actually
do
love
you what do you
cornfields.
think about the current diplomatic situation unfolding between Israel and Iran?
Yeah, can you explain that to me? I kind of don't know much about politics. Can you sort of explain this situation? I get all my news from you, and you've kind of been failing to give us the content. To be
Explain
honest,
this to us like we're on a fluoride IV drip, watching fucking Papa
Watching
Meat streams and playing Subway Surfer.
I haven't done too much research on it. I've been researching more, but from what I've gotten, Israel and Iran, they've been pestering one another for a few months, and it's gotten worse and worse until recently. Israel finally struck Iran. Iran responded, and now it's just all hell in the Middle East. And it's kind of escalated because Israel already knows what the history between the U.S. and Iran is, and they're trying to leverage that to get support from the U.S. in a war.
Yeah, and it looks really unfortunate because it looks like they're getting exactly what they want. And I was saying earlier off stream how I'm just gonna talk my shit here, but it's kind of really like sad when you look at Trump, getting that golden pager, knowing that whatever leverage they have could ruin everything that he's worked for, and yet he's still there, he's still the figurehead, even though it's basically just a total puppet regime. It's like an extremely sad situation, especially when it's someone that a lot of people like me have looked up to see this man go against everything that he stood for. I think it was pretty clear. I think he's been, honestly, a lot of people will say the opposite, but I think he was pretty consistent with his views right up until he really got the ball rolling in 2016 when he actually started getting into office and trying to make these changes. I think he started figuring out really quickly that he actually couldn't do any of the things he wanted, and he had to sort of keep up this facade of wanting to enact political change and wanting to keep his audience believing that is the case, and yet being completely unable to do anything in that regard.
Okay, you said a lot, but my response to that would be he doesn't know what he's doing. In my opinion, he was just saying what people wanted to hear, and that's a good idea. Say what people want to hear, then you can get the votes. But he didn't know how to deliver what people wanted.
Yeah, no, it's true. I mean, he was a complete outsider, but you could expect at least something. Like I was gonna say there's been political outsiders who have been effective lawmakers, but I'm kind of starting to realize that's not the case at all. So maybe I'll have to concede here, unless my chat can bring me an example.
I think this is getting a little too serious. I think
I think I want to talk about something actually important. I think I want to talk about something more important and relevant to me rather than you, because fuck you. Nathan, you're on the Grillcast right now. I'm sure you're not really familiar with us.
I've heard of you.
You've heard of us, okay?
Where'd you hear of them?
A lot. Some DTGs told me about you. Maybe I forgot when. And I haven't really heard of you guys, but I've been told about you. I've been told you guys are chill people.
Well, I appreciate that, and we're happy to have you here. But I wanted to get your thoughts, if you have any, if you could make an assessment for me. What are your thoughts in general about radical centrism? And what do you think it is? What do you think radical centrism means?
All right, good answer.
Sorry, I was eating. I don't know. It doesn't really seem too different from. Fuck, I forgot the name. It doesn't really seem too different than just wanting political reform. From my very vague research, because I have never really researched political ideology, but from my vague knowledge, it's really just reform of political systems, and I mean that's always good.
Okay, that's a fair answer.
You know what was political reform that was really good? It happened around like 1945. I think we need to go back to that type of reform and like take it even further. You know what I mean?
Why 1945?
There was this thing. I know like some people get the years wrong. They think this happened in like 1934, but actually in 1945, there was a really good reform around Europe, right, and Japan and China and Asia and a bunch of other countries. It was just really good reform, and I think we need to do more of that. Actually,
I think we need to go back to 1934.
I think
the flappers.
Yeah, I don't know. I think we can agree to disagree on the years. I think that's just a factual dispute. I think numbers. 1934, 1945. Just numbers. Really.
Yeah.
Can you tell me what numbers you're using?
What?
Can you tell me what number system you're using? Because I think you're being a little confused.
Oh, that's good. I'm using this number system. I think it's the normal decimal system or whatever they use. It's like I know you might be using you know, um, trying to think. I'm trying to think what other number systems they have. You might be
Binary.
using. Yeah, well, I think as
So
we know,
you could
the
say you're
the
a
Bonnells don't
non-binary
use.
individual.
Yeah,
and
no,
then-
the Bonnells don't use binary systems at all. So I don't think that's a really good assumption.
Is that true? Is that?
It was-
true?
You know,
it was
I
so
heard
high.
a lot of words. I didn't understand a thing you said. You talked about a
You're
lot of
Sorry.
basically
numbers.
saying that numbers aren't important, especially in regards of a lot of different places where you could look and see that maybe some things are it's just a number, like it's not that important.
Yeah, yeah.
So Nathan,
um,
what do you think we could do to increase agricultural output in the United States?
Wait, I don't know what any of those words just mean. Can you explain
It's
that for
okay.
me?
No, it's
Especially
okay. Don't
Nathan.
worry about it.
Can
How
Nathan
do you make
explain that
how
to
do you
me?
make the food grow and go to the grocery store?
I mean, number one thing is just stop tariffs. I think we're not really in a
Stop the
position
tariffs.
to.
Stop tariffs.
Yeah, tariffs do have an impact in.
At first, I thought you said stop terrorists. Like
Can you
we're
explain
having
that?
terrorist
Tariffs?
attacks on our.
Can you explain
On
the
our
impact of
farms.
tariffs?
Can you explain what a tariff is, first of all? Because I'm kind of.
Tariff
Can
is
you use your
tax
father's
on
Wikipedia
imported
account to
goods.
find this?
I hope you don't find these questions terrifying.
That's funny. That's funny, man.
A little corny, but
Yeah,
Man.
I'm amazed at this corniness.
callback. And that's a callback. And folks, that's podcasting. Explain the significance.
Our trade will always have an impact on our motivation to increase agricultural output. That's always been a thing, and it's not even with America. So if we stop tariffs, more countries will want to trade with us, and the U.S. has done great at trading crops and stuff. So if we're more motivated to grow crops, if not for our own people, we can be more motivated to make money off of those crops.
But why stop tariffs generally? Would you just want to stop agriculture?
Well, I want to make the
across the
counter. I want to make the counterpoint.
I do too, though.
But I want to make the counterpoint that's real. So the counterpoint that's real,
Whatever.
which is what if putting tariffs on other countries is just really, really fun?
It's maybe fun for the government, not fun for the middle class.
Right, but what if the immediate gratification of doing that so severely outweighs the consequences of fucking the poor?
I don't think we need people like you in office, quite honestly. I don't think you're mature enough to make political decisions.
What do you mean?
Micah, you're not mature enough to make political decisions. I don't think we want. I don't want people like that doing instant gratification with nuclear bombs. That's all I can say.
I can vote. Okay, I can vote.
And you probably
I have a right.
gratified yourself by voting in fucking Hitler. Or
I have a right to say.
Win.
What's wrong with Hitler? Wait,
I have a right to propose.
I'm just saying he didn't win. You're wasting your vote. You might.
I actually have more of a right to vote. In the last election, I actually voted 3 or 4 times. I think it was. So I
well, everybody did. So
yours.
You're right.
I couldn't get enough. I just kept coming back to that polling booth.
You there was
again?
instant gratification.
I was like,
voting.
I can't get enough. Sorry, I just love our democracy so much. It's so powerful, and I just can't stop voting. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
The 22-year-old
Nathan,
voter. Sorry,
can I ask another little? I want a little tidbit of information about your upbringing, your coming uppance. When was it that you first started being online, and at that time, did your dad at all monitor it at all or try to control it?
So I got my first computer at age 5.5-ish.
Holy fuck!
and I've always done stuff online, whether that be like researching whatever my dad was researching, because I liked getting information. I liked learning about things, and my dad was very influential, and he actually taught me how to learn a lot of things, write down notes and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I basically just be online collecting information about whatever interested me. And he didn't really monitor me. He trusted me maybe a little too much, but
Yeah, would you say that any of that exposure was detrimental to you at all?
he didn't really expose me at all.
Not him, just your general access to the internet. Do you think that might have been detrimental in any respect?
Not really. I was a little too young to understand what my dad does for his job, so I didn't really go around telling people, "Hey, my dad's Destiny." I kind of just said, "Hey, my dad's a YouTuber," and when people asked, I'd have trouble remembering what his name was.
Such an iconic name, though, but it is sort of an embarrassing name. So if that was the reason, feel like
it is a girl's name. You'd be like, "Hey, I have two moms. One's named Destiny." You know?
Hey, that was pretty funny.
Thanks. I appreciate it. Finally, someone fucking laughed at my joke.
No, that was good, dude.
Nobody liked it for like 5 seconds.
No, we all liked it. We were savoring it. We were sort of swishing the flavor around in our mouths.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like a good wine.
Like a good.
Yeah. Okay.
You have to aerate it. You have to sift it.
Yeah.
You have to spill it all over your shirt and get too drunk and throw up and shit yourself.
Yeah.
That's how you really enjoy wine, by the way. Nathan, I know you're not old enough to drink, but when you do, make sure you know you're properly enjoying a wine when you're embarrassing everybody else at the party. Some life advice. How about everyone in this call gives Nathan some life advice? How about that?
Okay.
Oh God, no.
Some life advice. Maybe. Maybe some life advice. Can you come back to me? I kind of don't have much figured out, so I kind of need to like figure some things out. You know, I kind of need
You
to
wrote a
study
whole
life
book.
advice.
You wrote a whole book.
I need to read Wikipedia for life advice.
An amazing
book.
To
me. That's a lie. He goes to me for life advice.
That's
yeah,
facts,
no,
that's
Nathan.
facts.
If you haven't read Incel Encyclopedia, it's an
essential.
Dude, he doesn't need to read that.
That
he
is essential reading.
My life wasn't the same.
Or you could just watch our
your whole life.
You watch our episode on that. You can get the synopsis.
Yeah.
It's
ideally you do
it's
both.
important. Yeah, actually, just have the book open at the same time. It's kind of like a read along.
Just have
format.
It on, like,
the show
while
is
you're reading the book. If you read faster, then you listen.
But
so life advice, you got any for him?
I mean, my advice would be to get the fuck off the internet. But you know, I don't suspect he's going to want to do that.
Well, actually,
my advice is this: smoke a lot of weed. Okay,
dude,
smoke a lot of weed.
Oh no, I will not. I will mute you.
No, I'm kidding.
On
a real note,
I knew what was going to come out of your mouth was going to be something stupid, but nothing could have prepared me for the stupid. that was that.
No, okay. I'll save it. I'll save it with some real life advice. On a real note, do not go into debt, and do not do the thing I mentioned earlier. If you just avoid those two things, you'll basically just be able to do whatever you want.
Only
you don't do those two
wait,
things.
I thought of life advice now. I remembered life advice that I wanted to give earlier.
Wife advice?
Dude, shut
up. What does an incel like you know about wife advice?
Dude, I literally say those letters better than Nathan, so don't fucking say
okay,
that.
you know what? You're picking on a teenager right now. I'd like to let that sink in for a second. You are picking on a teenager because you are that insecure about how you pronounce your letters. Anyway, go ahead with your wife advice.
Okay, so my advice is just, you seem pretty smart, so I think, you're obviously very smart, so I think the smart thing to do, you should just like focus on like studying. Sounds like you're doing it, so sounds like a good idea.
Boring.
Dude,
this sucks.
Can
we mute this guy?
Dude, you literally do the opposite, and look how you turned out. Look at how
exactly.
you turned
Use
out.
me as an example. See, I give that cold cutting NA life.
Nathan,
advice.
I'm gonna need Nathan to be the deciding voice on who here is more valid.
I really liked Blue Hoodie's advice. I thought
You
it was
did.
really cool.
On top, and I'm on top. If you said Reginald, I was going to tell you that I'm going to cut myself, but it's good that I didn't have to resort to that.
You know what?
The
You
classic.
should,
Never
the one
mind.
thing you can learn from your dad, by the way, Nathan, is learn how to effectively use BPD manipulator tactics. I would probably say read. I don't know if you've read it yet, but How to Win Friends and Influence People is a really good read, and I know that's like dummy advice, but you should. Do
Yeah,
that
I've read that
periodically.
book.
Wait, I thought of a question.
Do you want us to like call on you or something?
Dude,
You got
it's
your
a
hand
good
raised?
question. Wait.
Go
So
fucking
we have
ahead.
we have a drug addict in this call. I'm not going to say who, just to like keep their identity anonymous because it's
I think he-
Narcotics Anonymous.
Recovering
But
addict through the
dude,
grace
okay,
of God.
just okay, whatever.
You literally
but,
just told Nathan, bro, you just have to try the right strain, dude. Like, come on.
dude,
trust
no,
me,
you
bro.
just did that.
Dude, let me fucking talk. No, I was gonna say we have a drug addict in this call, and we might want to connect him with your father because I think he kind of wants to know what the fuck he was smoking when he debated Norman Finkelstein, if you know what I mean.
Nah, we wouldn't get along.
What kind of
'cause
dope he was
he
smoking.
does uppers, I do downers. We wouldn't get along at all. We're completely different. But
I don't even think you'd be able to communicate effectively.
yeah, between the two of us,
I
it'd be
don't
like, So what you're saying is, the logical fallacy you're using is,
the being a dumb retard.
Yo, hold on.
fallacy.
You actually sounded like my dad.
thanks. Yeah, I know. I work on my Destiny impression a lot. I actually brought it back for this interview specifically. If you want, I could do a bunch of I could just do a bunch of Destiny lines. That could be the rest of the podcast.
You could do a bunch of Destiny lines. You would
Yeah,
be
I'll do a
like
bunch of
snorting
Destiny
when he was
lines, and then my
doing-
jaw will start twitching, and I'll start
Yeah.
talking over my guest really loudly. No, okay.
Exactly.
All right, let's
I
get to
did
the
a bunch
next
of Destiny
question because
lines.
this is getting kind of gross.
I know. I actually think, and this is an unpopular opinion, I guess, but I actually think it's
keep
really.
it to yourself.
I think it's actually really based when he just spurgs out and starts saying a bunch of nonsense over the people that he's debating. I think it's.
That is based. That is true.
It's it's just like
I'll fact check that.
I'm just gonna be incomprehensible and dominate you with that.
Doesn't work against Nick though. Can't knife the knife, guys.
Nathan, have you ever tried to do that back to him?
What?
That's
you ever,
so
like-
funny. You ever argue with your dad and he starts explaining the logical fallacy you're using and using like debate tactics to explain to you why you need to go to bed at 10?
No, actually.
I guess I was asking, like, do you ever like outspurg your dad?
You know what? Not really, because me and him never really argue.
That's good.
That's sweet.
That is good.
That's sweet. That's wholesome.
That is
Wholesome
good, yeah.
Chungus moment. Up dudes for you, my good sir.
Do you want to set up that debate or what?
I think that would be good content for the Grillcast. I do.
No,
We might have to fight out. We might have to have a preliminary.
No, that's
debate,
inappropriate. I'm sorry, that's inappropriate.
we could, however, we would be down to host the boxing match. However,
What is that noise? Are you mic spamming? Is this a prank? This is a prank on this show.
I'm blowing the lines of coke I've been doing out of.
Oh,
my nose.
okay.
Sorry, guys, my nose is stuffy. I'm on a lot of coke right now.
Okay. I understand. That's understandable.
No, what is that noise though?
I think Nathan was making it. It's fine.
Wait, what?
No, I heard like a little like mic like twitching noise. I didn't know what that was, but
Oh, my cat just came.
Does it sound like...
yeah, sort of.
Oh, then
sort
I
of.
don't know what that was.
I think it was a
I heard it
ghost.
too.
Ghost.
I think a ghost got into the recording. We met.
Ghost in. It's a ghost in the podcast. Most podcasts don't come with a ghost, just a host. All right, guys.
Yo, that's fire.
So Nathan, what else is going on with you, man? What's new?
You know what? Not really anything. I've just been doing the same thing all day. Well, every day. I've just
Waiting
been on
through a
Twitter.
sea of irrelevant podcast hosts having discussions about nothing.
Yeah, kinda. You guys seem cool
Is
though.
that-
You
how
guys
many
seem cooler
podcasts have
than
you
other
been on?
people who've reached out to me.
How many podcast appearances have you done?
You know, I was offered to go on this one. I forgot what it was called, but my dad said no because they'd all just, I guess, try to groom me into like Nick.
What the fuck?
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't
that's kind
think-
of gross. That's like you should come around to that on your own, honestly, because it's like
No, I mean there's like nefarious act. We shouldn't. I honestly think that's probably him doing the right thing. I hate to say it, but
No, that I was agreeing. That's
oh,
what I was
okay.
trying to say.
Sorry, I misunderstood. But
It's okay.
no, that's
I
good.
get
So out
misunderstood
of
a
all
lot.
the
I'm very misunderstood.
I can tell. The
Hmm.
Would you say that this has been so far towards the top, the bottom, or the middle for
Or
you in
perhaps a
terms
switch.
of
Or perhaps like a switch.
in terms of the shows you've been on so far?
I mean, I guess top if that's good.
Oh
Let's
wow!
go.
Well,
Oh
you're hearing
wow.
it here
Are
first
you
on the
just saying that, or
Grillcast.
is like, you know?
You got to change the title of the show now to parentheses Nathan
Most
Bonnell
preferred,
approved
most preferred
Grillcast.
podcast appearance by
So I
Nathan
see
Bonnell.
how you and Blue Hoodie sort of you have a good relationship. So I don't want to ruin that. So can I do a Blue
Mhm.
Hoodie impression while
Yeah,
you roast my car for being gay? Just to like, because I know you guys are friends, and I
I
don't
would
want to
like to
like,
hear that.
I want to, because that was sort of the big, event of this show, and I don't want to, I want to keep that. While I want to maintain both the content and your friendship, so I don't want to like, I have to walk a fine line. So if you want, I can do an impression of him while you sort of attack my car.
Well, actually, as long as we're on the topic, I'd like to get into my reason for choosing the car. Actually, so those who have been in the DGG community for long enough know that at one point Destiny drove a blue Focus RS. Blue, of course, because he is blue
He
pilled
still
libtard.
does.
It
So
is blue
myself,
hair.
being red pilled, red pilled incel, woke cell,
You should dye your hair
I
red.
had, of course, to buy a red focus to sort of one up him on that. And now that I have this car, I can really, sort of focus on the things that are important in my life, like my sobriety.
That's one of the saddest things I've ever heard someone say to me, and I do think you should end your life.
Please elaborate. Please go on.
The car just
Oh
looks
my
stupid.
God.
It's a dumb color too. Red, like a red, fat beetle looking car. It looks horrible. It looks
What if
stupid.
I told you
Wait.
it has a 2-liter engine co-developed by Mazda?
What if I told you it has
Okay,
two
I'm a
cup
kid.
holders?
The engine doesn't mean anything to me, okay? Do
What
you think
about
I'm
the
spending my time
transmission?
online
What if I
looking
told
at
you it has a
engines?
bulletproof 5-speed manual transmission?
No one's gonna come after you. No one knows you,
All
so
right, all right.
there's no
What if-
reason
all
for
right,
it to be
here's the
bulletproof.
kicker. Here's the kicker. What if I told you it has leather seats? All right.
Whoa, man, you sold me with that one. The one thing that people
can I-
cannot
I know.
see,
Gets them every
the
time.
leather
Leather
seat.
seats. Look, the ladies love it. Everyone loves it. It's just
Can I do
all
my
right.
What
girlfriend
ladies?
last night?
What ladies?
The Huzz. I thought you would know, bro. The Huzz. I'm fine shit, fine wine like me. You think I'm gonna be getting the Huzz?
You don't think
No, you scared them all
a
away.
blue hooded faggot is getting massive amounts of pussy?
What?
That's his name. His username is blue hooded faggot.
No, it's Blue Hoodie.
Oh.
You got
I'm
it
changing
wrong.
it to
He
White
doesn't- he
Hood
doesn't-
though. I'm changing the name to White Hood.
That's fire.
Jesus.
That's fire. I get that reference.
I
Oh,
hate
do
you
you?
so much.
Thanks. All right, let's keep going with the questions.
I
This
have
is
to
good.
disavow.
This is hot
Uh,
stuff.
yeah.
This is hot stuff. Don't disavow. This is hot stuff. You can't
Yeah,
get
so
that
I
in a
was just
number
gonna
of
say I was
places.
gonna do my Blue Hoodie impression, where I was gonna say like how that's why he doesn't have a driver's license, because he doesn't really know how to drive, which makes sense.
Oh yeah.
Um,
Well, if I don't have a driver's license, then what's that won't even work because there's no video feed.
Dude, what the
Another
fuck? Why are you?
possible visual
You're
gag.
literally Nathan. We said we're not allowed to. There are no threats on this show. Why are you threatening my co-host? Why would you say that?
Yo, man, I was hacked.
It's okay. I've only been
Didn't
doxxed
do
once.
nothing.
Were you hacked by Qatar by any chance? Oh, I heard they're on a hacking
They wouldn't
spree
hack him.
lately.
They're the ones paying him to be right wing.
Yeah, but he might have like said something they
Yeah,
don't like.
that's actually a good it's a good segue. Nathan, have you gotten yourself any sponsors yet? Do you have any major deals in the works?
You know what? No, I haven't.
If you had your pick of the litter, who would your first sponsorship be from?
Mountain Dew.
Okay,
Based.
this might be the coolest kid ever.
Literally.
If I had a son, I only wish that he would turn out
Dude.
like you.
What's your so what's in that case I gotta know what your favorite Mountain Dew flavor is
Baja
at
Blast.
this point. Baja Blast. I've got a Baja Blast right here.
Breathe, bro. He didn't even blink.
I've got one right here with me.
I appreciate the commitment.
I'll be pouring one out for you.
I have multiple in my fridge.
W.
That is
It's just
epic.
a walking W. All right, so let's come up with some more questions here on the fly. Not related to my car, because you've tried to bring up that bit 3 times and it's been funny every single time. So Nathan, I know you're not old enough to smoke, but let's say you did, which I don't recommend. What kind of cigarette would you smoke?
Well, let's start.
I think
Let's
fake
start
ones.
lighter. Let's go with the what geek bar would you get?
What?
What flavor of geek bar would you get?
Do not listen to them. These are like stupid fucking things
Don't
that
do
only
it,
like.
but if you did, which one?
I have no clue what that is.
He doesn't-
I'd rather
exactly.
like
Normal
answer
people
the
don't know what that
cigarette
is, 'cause
question.
they're not fucking. They don't go to the gas
Geek bar?
station
You've
and
never
get
had
like
one?
hormones.
Delightful little treat. The greatest invention of the Chinese. You got to give them props where it's due. And I myself am puffing on a Miami Mint right now.
You sound like it.
Today's my day.
So this is actual unironic advice that I should have given earlier. But when you are of age, I do highly recommend daily supplements of vitamin N. Okay, nicotine is good for you. It's good for your mental health. It makes you more acute. It makes you be able to think.
Wait, hold on. What?
Wait, was that the
Can you-
NRT?
hold on,
Is
what
was
what
that-
the N
what was
in
that
NRT
other point
stands
you
for
were
that like
saying?
Destiny did? Like
Sorry?
he turned to black when he did NRT. You remember there was NRT and he turned black. Is that like vitamin N?
Isn't it, Nathan? What did you say?
What was that one thing you said? It would make me more what?
It would make you more mentally acute.
Oh,
No,
okay.
you
I
said
did
it
not
would
hear
make
the
you more
mentally.
clear. Exposed 4K Predator caught in real time. All right, buddy. We saw you clicking on the mega links. You're going away for a long time. If this might be a little too deep, you don't have to answer if it is. But are you spiritual at all? Do you align yourself with any political
No.
denomination? No.
Wait, hold on.
Political denomination?
What?
Religious. I
What
meant
the
to say
what?
religious.
No, I don't.
What's your reasoning for that? Not like trying to like convince you or anything. Just like genuinely wondering.
I'm. It's pretty selfish, but I can't care to any religion. If I said I was like Catholic or Christian, I'd be lying because I wouldn't be able to devote any time. Truly, just out of self-interest.
Where do your morals come from? Where do you derive your morality?
What are we doing here? What are you
think
doing?
this is-
I'm
I don't
genuinely
think this
wondering
is-
because a lot of
Would you
agnostic
just-
or atheist
look,
people have
just-
genuine good reasons for why they derive their morality from
Dude,
different
this can
places.
happen like off. Because like this, like I understand this is like
Look.
important, but like this like doesn't. I
Yeah.
fully encourage this to happen off show, but like I don't think that's
And-
like.
And to
like,
that
this
point,
isn't
Reginald.
the time or place.
Yeah, and to that point, Reginald, like God is going to come and touch Nathan when he
What?
pleases, when he wants to, when he's
What?
ready. When the
Don't worry, God's allowed
What?
to.
when the vibe is right.
exactly.
I don't
you
want to get
need
touched by God.
Well, it's I'm being metaphorical.
He's being a little
kind
facetious
of.
there.
I'm not
Do you
being.
want to answer my
I'm not
question,
being
bro, or do you
fascist
wanna
at
move
all.
on?
Okay, I'm
Your
not.
choice.
I disavow.
All right, we can move on.
Such a good show.
This is
Dude, are you doing like a drum solo? Is this like? Do we have
I think
live
it's a
music
pretty
on
good
this
drum
show?
solo, to be honest. I'm kind of jamming.
Nathan.
out right now.
I do want to ask you if you would be willing at a point in the future, without unfortunately, it would be without these two. But my actual co-host for the Grillcast is away right now. He's working on his
He's
fishing
taking his trip
boat.
to Israel.
He's doing his seasonal fishing trip to Israel. He's he's getting his big haul, making his big bucks. But he is kind of obsessive with you. He really wants to debate you on a myriad of different topics. And I just wanted to ask you today if that's something that you would be willing to engage with.
Yeah, of course. I love talking to people. I love debating anything. So yeah.
He is a
have you done
masterful
debates?
debater.
You could say he's the master baiter, but Nathan,
Dude, shut up.
Man,
No
thanks.
one cares.
Jeez,
Grow
Blue.
up.
have you done like
Nathan,
like debates? Like
I need you, Nathan. I need you before you answer his question. I need you to unequivocally condemn his statements and his jokes.
What?
We thought we were going to be doing a documentary on how you are like evil and like we can't endorse you, just to keep this on YouTube so it doesn't get taken down. But it turns out it was Blue Hoodie all along who we need to condemn unequivocally.
True.
no, we don't. No, you don't.
We do.
Anyway, so the question was, have you debated any prolific figures? And if so, who is your favorite?
The only person I think I've talked to on camera was Vegan Gains, and it wasn't really the best debate because I was tired. I just ate a bunch of turkey and ham.
Oh, snap. You really
To
got
own him, to
him.
epically own him.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
based. That's how you win the debate, honestly, is because at the end of the day, no matter how good the argument is, you can never truly convince people to stop eating animals because they just taste so good.
True.
Just
Yeah.
you were meat
So go
mogging
on.
him.
What happened with that Vegan Gains debate? I'm sorry for interrupting you. It was just too funny. I hope you understand.
It went fine. There's
Okay.
not really a debate to be had when it comes to veganism because it
Exactly.
kind of boils down to what you believe in on a multitude of different topics. Like, what makes something at what point can you kill something and it
Well, I
can
think
still be okay?
I'm going to be
And
honest. I think eating animals is wrong, but I think like it's out of desperation, that we sort of have to eat animals. So it's like,
that's
So my argument would be I don't want to be on the side of Vegan Gains because he's a retarded spurg.
My argument would be I think we should extend the logic of having dominance over animals and being
To
able
certain
to
races.
kill and eat them if we want to. And you fucking finished my joke. Yeah, what's even the
Yeah,
point
I
of
see it
talking if
coming.
you know exactly what I'm going to say? I
Bluehood.
Yeah.
All your
after
jokes
talking
have
for the
been like
episode.
complete garbage and utter trash, so I don't really blame him.
Yeah, Daniel. All of your jokes are
Based.
Sorry.
No, it's okay. Just don't do it again and it's fine.
Okay, I won't do it again.
Speaking of jokes, Reginald, you're a comedian, so how about we entertain, we're in the court of the king, Nathaniel here, so how about you be his jester and play around
So
and
my
sort of
idea
give him
is
a
actually,
few of his...
I don't want to bring this up again, but is there an opening for a court jester position at the legal proceedings for the lawsuit? Because I do believe I would have some good jokes
God damn it.
already for, I could tell some funny jokes, if needed, just as a
If
comedian.
needed. Chuck's
If
needed.
yeah, of course, yeah, that's a good that too.
Thanks. Means a lot coming from you. Reginald, you're
Yeah.
something like my icon, so how
Has
about a few
anybody,
jokes?
Dude, he didn't even answer. Like, fucking let him answer, dude. Like,
What was
like
even
that
the
was
question?
if
You're
I could
just,
be the
going
court
on.
jester at the legal proceedings. That was like a comedic question, and he's supposed to say, I'll ask because, like, I don't
Okay,
know
yeah,
how
answer for
realistic
him,
that
too.
is.
No, just take over the whole interview.
Yeah, exactly. Okay,
I'll
what is
reach
it?
out to him. I'll message him.
I appreciate that. You're a good guy. You're a good
while
friend,
you're
you know?
messaging him, could you also just let him know that we think that streaming his case is insane?
Yeah, but tell him not to stop, though. Tell him to definitely...
Yeah, I mean, obviously keep doing it.
But
it's
be
great,
like, yo, that's insane, and, like, dap him up. I don't know if you know what that is. That might be a little bit before your time, but a dap is, like, when you, like, high-five someone, but it's, like, kind of like a handshake also.
Yo, Bluehood, I know what that is.
Oh, that's good. The kids are keeping black culture alive.
Please fucking.
Love
Yeah,
it.
I don't know
Jewish,
if
now
they
you're
dap- I
black,
don't know if they're
pick a
dapping
side.
you up in
I think
Nebraska.
Nathan has a little bit of the fatigue developing.
What, Reginald?
Wait,
I think
We're all
he's-
sort of
I
developing
think
that.
he's.
That's
Yeah.
insane. This is definitely gonna be like clipped and then like sent out to like whatever college I try getting into.
Dude,
What do you
Yeah,
know?
and they're
I
all
don't- I
going to
mean,
accept you unequivocally.
No,
so-
no.
Not
I'm-
Harvard.
Anything that was especially egregious, I will cut out.
Nah, you could just
Like,
ask
the
your
thing is,
dad to take you off the blacklist and you'll be good.
The thing is, I like don't like you shouldn't worry about that, to be honest, because like
Yeah,
I think,
you're not going to need that. You're
like you
you're going to be
literally
fine.
first of all you say far worse stuff like on Twitter. You've been like very like tame this episode, so I don't think like this is like this is a pretty tame episode, to be honest. We thought you were gonna like come here like going DEFCON 3, to be honest.
Yeah, we thought we were going to have to talk you off the ledge.
Yeah, but it's because I haven't heard you speak I've heard you speak a little like on Pod Awful's show. You sounded really normal, but like what was I gonna say? So yeah, I didn't know how absurd this show would get. So yeah, this is Yeah, it was
But
good
we're
though.
here for it. Regardless of the absurdity, we're here for it. Also, I find it very shocking that a comedian would be against absurdity.
I'm not against it. It's
All right, you know what?
refreshing
That's
to
enough.
see this
That's
kind of
enough out of you.
sincerity.
I'm under
Listen,
the
how about
impression
you,
that you guys believe it's all a bit, because I mean everything I say.
No, actually,
well, no.
genuinely, none of
I'm
us
not with
believe it's a
them.
bit.
I'm not with them. Just FYI, I've taken you completely seriously.
Don't say them, okay? Because I'm also.
I know there's a
Thinking
good amount of
100% seriously.
seriousness, but like he's literally said it's like exaggerative on like Pod Awful's show. I saw it.
What, the Twitter stuff, or
we can excuse Reginald not understanding comedy, with him being autistic and that. So that was kind of a mean joke. Just
No, it was
Yeah,
funny. It was
please.
funny. You can say that. That was funny.
I think really the general rule of thumb is you should just assume that everything online is hyperbole and
until proven otherwise.
until proven
That's
otherwise.
a good rule
Yeah.
of thumb. All right, questions. More questions. Come on, guys. Let's get back
So,
into
Nathan,
it.
if you want to be taken seriously as a politician, how would you prove otherwise that your statements are not hyperbole? Just hypothetically, right?
I mean, the best way to go about that is just saying, "Hey, I mean everything I say."
I mean, do you though? Does everyone believe you? Do people believe you when you say that?
To convince
Actually, yeah,
them that
you'd
it
be
is not.
surprised how many death threats I've gotten in
To
Twitter
convince
Okay, well,
messages.
nobody is being believable here because they're just like talking and saying shit, and it's like no one like anyone can say anything. Like what the fuck? Like
Okay,
so you
Alright.
see
So,
you see
like-
what I'm saying?
then that means like anyone could be saying, "Hey, I believe this," and then just not believe this.
Of course,
No,
yeah.
I'm with Nathan here. I believe in, like, say anything that you are gonna say it, even if you don't mean it, as though you do, and then just own it.
Okay.
All right. So getting into some more questions here. Nathan, who would you say is your favorite YouTuber as of right now?
I'd say Penguin Zero. I've been like getting into his commentary stuff.
Solid.
I mean, I kind of just
Dude.
listen to him in the background, but he's pretty funny.
He is so
That's good.
fucking. I love that guy's
He is very
videos.
background listenable.
Dude, I actually go to him. He's my second in command news source.
Can anybody here do a decent Charlie impression?
Hey guys, it's Moist Critical. I haven't heard his voice in a long time.
Charlie impression. You should kill yourself.
Yeah, dude. Okay, yeah, we all know you're good with your throat, dude. Like, very funny.
Yeah, you could say I'm
Yo, wait.
something, guys. That's
Chill.
the wettest, sloppiest, gayest sex I've ever seen in my life. Guys, this gay
Okay, we get it. We get it.
All right, that's a W for faggot.
Okay, and Nathan, so I'd like to pitch you on an idea here. So you're familiar with comedy, right? Like the concept
Dude,
of comedy.
do not pitch this. Do not
I
pitch
hate
this.
you.
Do not pitch this.
So
What?
me
Do
and
not.
my co-host, we've had an idea in the works for a long time. I want
Holy
to sort of
shit.
get your opinion on this. So basically, we were thinking that comedy is a very stale and sort of overused medium. Like it's very poisoned by our.
I've already stopped listening.
On the internet. So we're proposing a new
Dude, he's
form
literally
of
not
comedy,
listening to
not
you. You're
really
just making us look
more
stupid.
like a form of comedy, sort of like a transcendent
Okay.
to the art
This
called
is awesome.
Comedy 2.0. Are you with me here?
What?
I don't
Yeah,
think-
I'm
I don't-
listening.
I don't think this is the
2.0.
right
What do you
place.
think?
You want to make he's trying to make a sequel to comedy.
Not a sequel so much as a
expansion,
groundbreaking
a
innovation to the
DLC.
scene, a paradigm-shattering advancement to the
Paradigm-shattering.
movement. What do you think?
Go for it, man. If you shoot for the stars.
Thanks, man. So we've got some ideas here. We'd like to pitch you
Oh
on. So
no.
have
Oh,
you
no.
read the works of? Just one second here. Have you read the works of John Allen by any chance? John Allen Paulos.
Yeah, I have.
This is some fascinating stuff here, folks. So basically, to break it down, it's comedy itself could sort of be replicated like a math.
Yo, Blue Hood, could you just like cut to the chase?
Okay,
Dude.
well, I can't quite do that. So this is probably going to be.
Dude,
have to
he
be
knows
saved
all
for a
about
further
cutting, so I
episode,
think
but
he should be able to cut. to the chase.
your endorsement is.
I'm sure
no.
I'm sure if you ask Nathan nicely to come onto a show with just you, he will talk to you about this.
Dude, like you're
in
he
depth.
won't now. 'cause
Well,
you
see,
made-
the
'cause
thing
you're, like,
is it would have to
embarrassing
be
the
more of
movement.
sort of like a reaction, like possibly could you just like watch a live stream of mine and then kind of give your reaction, because this comedy stuff, it's a lot of uninterrupted.
Just demonstrate it.
All right, so
Demonstrate your comedy 2.0.
Comedy 2.0. So
Comedy 2.0.
to truly demonstrate comedy 2.0, you'd have to take a comedy 1.0 joke and then sort of break down the paradigm to which it it works, right? So let's
You don't know at all what you're saying. Shut up. Shut up. You don't understand a thing you're saying.
So let's say I walk into a interview, a totally normal.
This officially feels like child abuse. I'm so close to putting a stop to this.
Do you like
Dude, please.
K-pop, Nathan?
K-pop?
Yeah.
Are you okay
yeah,
with
I
it?
like that one. I mean, I don't really listen to it. I've only heard a few songs.
By which artists? Which
Like
groups?
Gangnam Style?
I forgot the names of all of them, but there are two songs in particular I've heard a lot. But that's just because I'm online. It's not really.
Have you heard of Gangnam Style?
Yeah, I have.
All right.
Good question. What is your opinion on boy motors? Are they valid?
What?
Are boy motors heckin' valid? Like
I
an
have no
MTF
clue.
trans person who takes hormones and still passes
Holy
as a
shit,
man.
dude! Like,
Are they heckin' valid?
this
A
podcast?
trans
is, like,
person?
freaking-
Sure.
Alright.
You can be whatever you want. You can be an attack helicopter. I
What
don't care.
is the threshold to which you would consider someone involuntarily celibate? Like, how much can
Blue
someone
hoodie, blue
interact
hoodie,
with a
blue
woman
hoodie.
before you would no longer consider them an incel?
Dude.
I mean, like, it all depends on what you believe in. I mean, like,
I think it's
an
about
incel
intent.
can talk to a woman.
Wait,
and-
can I just say something? I really hope that Blue Hoodie goes to a trans sort of a trans meetup, and he sort of has non-consensual sex with an attack helicopter. You know, that's
Nice.
sort
That's
of my.
very nice. That was very funny. We all
that was
laughed.
a funny joke.
So anyway,
Come on, you gotta
Nathan,
admit that was smart.
what is your favorite fruit? He's doing his research.
no, hold on. No, I'm
He's looking up a list of
multitasking.
fruits.
I'm.
ChatGPT. Like father,
I don't
like
know
son.
strawberry.
Strawberry, very good choice. Patrician choice, I would say. So,
Yeah.
do you believe that there could be potential for ethical consumption of CP? No, I'm just kidding. Okay, that one's.
Wait, hold on.
I'm absolutely cutting that. You fuck.
I mean,
just bleep the thing.
Dude, you are
Just bleep
so
what I say.
fucking stupid.
I could probably message you my answer to that.
Nathan,
No, it's okay. You don't have to. The joke was the question itself.
I could listen to you be frustrated at this man's retarded line of questioning for hours on end because it's,
All right, let me
it's been
just get
highly
one more.
entertaining for me.
Let me just get one more for the send off. So, Nathan, if you were to take any three political figures from history, or it doesn't even have to be political, but three histrionic figures and have them do a sitcom together, who would it be?
Adolf Hitler,
That's
Mao
actually a good
Zedong,
question.
and Joseph Stalin.
Can you repeat that? Because Reginald talked over you.
Adolf Hitler, Mao Zedong, and Joseph Stalin.
And why would that be?
They're just three interesting people. Hitler and Stalin kind of have a love-hate relationship, kind of toxic, and Mao Zedong is
Sort
kind
of,
of the
you
third
could say
wheel.
like an abusive uke-seme relationship.
Yeah, and I'm not. Shut the fuck up.
Between the three of them,
He
who
knew
had
it was. He
who had the most aura?
I'd say definitely
We all know who.
Hitler.
It goes without saying.
Fist bump. My heart goes out to you.
So again, Nathan, I am sorry for subjecting you to this particular guest's questioning, but I really enjoyed having a conversation with you, learning a little bit about what you got going on, and I really hope that you do take me up on that, collaborating a little in the future, having a debate with the other host of our show. I think it could be a fun time, and I hope you had a good time on today's episode. Is there anything?
I did.
Before we end it off, is there anything you'd like to put out there, or say to the audience, or anything that we should all be following?
Nothing much. Thanks for having me on. Blue Hoodie, your color is horrible, and that's kind of all.
I appreciate it. What color would you prefer?
Black.
Black.
Okay, and with that, peace out,
Interesting.
my grill.
I'm old as a boomer. My mind said on Zoomer. Everything cooler, long as I'm not Laura Loomer. If you think I'm not number one, I just spell that rumor. Hit that victory royale on some motherfucking coochie. Default dance on a bitch. Hit the default dance on a bitch. Floss dance while I'm flossing in a whip. Victory royale when that chopper hit. Self-incrimination, I have no participation. News keep asking, I don't say shit.
Nathan, I have to thank you again for coming in every time Blue Hooded Faggot opened his mouth to tell him he was being retarded. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Yeah,
Anytime.
also, it's